Hi, I'm Mary Lou. They call me Mrs. Fisk. Um, Today, my presentation is about positive reinforcements in the classroom. I'm not saying this is the only way or the best way, but this is the way that I encourage positive behavior in my classroom. Basically, the way I feel about it is what you give attention to is what you're going to get more of. So, in my theory, um, if if I were to give more attention to the kids acting up, even though they're getting in trouble, that is still attention. It may be negative attention, but that may be the only attention they get. And so rather than giving the kids with behavior problems a lot of attention, I like to give the kids that are doing the things I want to see more the extra attention. So, some ways that I encourage this is by talking about our expectations. In our building, we have champs. So, in champs, we talk about the conversation level. So, my students know what voice level we should be at. We talk about zero being absolutely nobody's talking, one being a whisper, two regular voices, and we do use threes within the classroom when we're reading, because I want them to talk louder, as well as we stomp and spell out our words. So I want them to, use that energy and do that stuff when it's appropriate, so that when it's time to sit down and calm down and do what we need to, we've used up some of that energy. So, okay, so that is the conversation levels. I do have buttons in my room that are lights, and these were purchased at Dollar Tree, but I just took some Sharpie and I wrote the numbers on them. So that's an easy way to give that visual to the kids, a reminder of their voice levels. Um, Okay, so our C was conversation, H is help. So I have these boards that say whether you raise your hand or if you can ask a partner, ask a teacher, activity, whether it be whole group, small group, um, if it's partner work, if it's by yourself work, movement. Are they allowed to move? You've got to create time where they can move. Don't make me sit in my seat all day. I can't do that. I don't like to do that. It drains my energy to sit in a seat all day. So I don't do that to my kids either. So there are times where I will say, don't move unless you're given permission. Whole group, don't move out of your space unless you're given permission. But small group time, we've got to have a little bit of movement. And really, is it going to impede that much that they need to go get a drink real fast? It really doesn't. Let them get that drink real fast. Get a drink, go back to your work, um, and then they'll work better. I've got to have a drink. They probably need a drink too. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just say, okay, that's fine. Get your drinking back to work. And you know what? They work so much better. Um, so, participation. Yes, we all need a participation. And whether it be complete your worksheet or answer questions, make sure your ears are listening and eyes are watching. Those are all things that they do to show that. And then our S is for success. If you do all these things, you did it. Now, sometimes it's just a justified, hey, we did it. And sometimes it may be something as simple as, you know what? We all did an amazing job. Round of applause and class bonus points on Dojo. And so those are also, now, does a bonus point really cost that much? No, sure it doesn't. But it does give them that like little, ooh, they hear that little ding and they get really excited. Um, now, when you see that good behavior, when you see the kids helping each other, you want to cheer them on because that's what you want to see more of. But of course, you are going to have some misbehavior and you are going to have to deal with it. So the best way that I can suggest this, if it's a minor behavior, redirect them, remind them of your expectations. So if Joey's playing instead of doing his work at his table, Joey, you need to get back to doing your vocabulary sheet. Let's get that done. So during your recess time, you get to go out and play. Otherwise, we're going to have to stay and do this worksheet during your recess time. And then you have to follow through. But don't give it a lot of attention. Just let them know this is what I need you to do. And this is the consequence if we don't get it done. And then be willing to follow through. Because if you don't follow through, then your time is wasted and they go, you know what? Really didn't have to follow that direction. So make sure you follow through when you ask them to do something. As new events arrive, field trips, guests coming in, fire drills, you need to review your expectations. When a guest comes in, make sure we're sitting up, we're listening. Think about questions you want to say. As a fire drill comes out or a tornado drill, is our voices doing? Are we allowed to talk? No, we are not. Why are we not allowed to talk? Give them the justification, not just because my teacher's mean. It's so that if we have an emergency situation, that the adults can talk and keep me safe. That's the reason we can't talk. Also, make sure that everybody that's working in your classroom has the same expectations. My team in my classroom, there's three of us. It's myself, my grandma Sue, and Miss Shauna. We all work together, and basically, what we say is we've got to get our work done. It's either now or during your time. So, and the kids work really well, but we all have those same expectations and we all follow through. And so the kids know if I don't do it with Mrs. Fisk, I'm going to have to do it later during my time with Mrs. Fisk, right? If I don't do my work with Miss Shauna, I'm going to have to do it later. We all have the same exact rules. And that way they don't do the Mrs. Fisk versus grandma or Mrs. Fisk versus Miss Shauna. Um, everybody has the same rules, so they know if I'm going to say no, Miss Shauna will say no, grandma will say no. Um, so that helps out with that. Um, one of the things I like to do in my room is called dojo. And I know not everybody likes dojo, but it is really simple for me. And what I do is I have it as an app on my phone, and it's also on my computer. So when my kids are being helpful, I will give them points. They also give each other points, which is important. So it's not just the teachers with this magic point power. Your leaders can give those points. Um, if you're in the hall, use it as a quiet game. Um, it gives them reinforcement of, I'm acting correctly. Okay, that's one. Let them play the quiet game as they're choosing. Give them another point. I have them when we get three people have chosen, then the class gets a bonus, hall bonus. And it really helps our hallway behavior. Also, something I do is I post the top three dojo points of the day. So I call them my top three. So um, they are the kids that have the most points in the day. How did they get those points? Everybody get the same points? No. The kids that help each other get bonus points. The kids that help the teachers get bonus points. And so those are all things that build their points up. And as they build their points up, at the end of the week, of course, they get to cash it in for treasure. But so they like seeing their name on the board. Their names on the board is a positive thing. And of course, they get special seating. I have flexible seating in my room. So we have these three wobble chairs, and I have some balls. So my top three kids get to choose the special seating that they'd like to sit in for the day. And only those kids get to choose if they want the balls or the wobble seats. It is a special reinforcement for going above and beyond. And I find that those kids work really hard to do that. Um, Also, on your dojo, you can interact with your families. So the families can connect to your dojo, and so the families can see, oh, little Susie, she got extra points for um, with Miss Shauna, or she got extra points with Coach Conrady, and so they can see the things. Oh, she got points for reading, um, or oh, you know what? Today she lost points because she hurt a friend. It tells the parent what we're getting those points for and what we may be missing points for. So some families like that, and some connect very well there. Now, it's not just a tattletale system for parents, it's also got a place where you can put stories. So on my dojo, I put pictures of what we're doing in the classroom. I may post events coming up, sometimes a small video clip of things the kids have done. Um, and of course, different things I put as different point values. So the things I really, really want to see, helping others, being super quiet during a drill, being respectful when our visitors are there, listening to the teachers. Those are all things that I give point values of like 5. Being on task, yes, I want to see that, but I want to see it a lot. So it's going to be something that I want to give them a lot. So I'll go, you know what? Everybody's on task. Class bonus for being on task. It's only 1 point, but everybody gets it. So that they go, oh, ding, that's my point. Everybody got it. Times 20. Yay, us. And they get so excited. Now, I give those away like confetti. It doesn't hurt them. And it gives everybody a little, hey, we did that. And they get really excited. Other classes don't have the same rules. Is that okay? Absolutely. Every teacher is not going to do things exactly the same. And that's just the way we teach. Um, Also, you may want to do a class weekly goal. Um, I get depending on how you do your points, you may monitor for a week of what your points were and say your class got 500 points during the week. So your goal for the next week may be 550. And as they get those points, then raise the bar. Maybe the next time is 600 points. So set a team weekly goal. And what are some things you can do? Of course, I have like little pretty pencils. I also have glow sticks, but it doesn't have to cost money. You can do something as simple as a dance party. You can have a little bit of extra recess if they make that goal. You can give them some inside choice time. My kids really loved inside choice time. You can do a celebration snack. Make sure that you get some things that are somewhat healthy, at least some of the time. I do like snacks as like treats, cookies, and stuff too, but not all the time. Um, Small prizes for everyone. Those little things that you can get at the dollar store for a quarter a piece. Those are great once in a while, not all the time. Um, we have a balloon party. Oh, they love dancing with balloons. And these are all things that don't cost a lot, and the kids work super hard for them. So, in closing, these are some of the things that I do. I will attach my notes that have the link to how to set up your dojo. It's really simple. I use it for my class. I use it for my chorale. We have different reading groups and math groups, but I like to make sure that if somebody's working hard in my class, they are getting rewarded for it, because I believe what you give attention to is what you're going to get more of. And what I want more of in my classroom is the positive behavior. So I hope this was helpful in some way or point for you. And the rest of the time, I think you could use to either think about the ways that you can do your positive behavior reinforcements in your classroom, or go ahead and set up your dojo. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me at marylou_fisk at usd465.com. And you can also see me over at Country View. Have a great day.